Well, good evening. I know some folks are still working on coming in, but my name is Tim Skank, the rector here at Bethesda-by-the-Sea, and it is my distinct privilege and joy to welcome you to this evening's sold-out Christmas concert. You know, there's nothing quite like Christmas in Palm Beach, and one of the great traditions in this town is our mid-December foretaste of the Christmas celebration that is to come. It's hard not to feel the Christmas spirit as we gather in this sacred space to belt out some carols and listen to the incredibly talented and glittery Bethesda Choir with orchestra under the direction of Dr. Stuart Forster. Immediately following the concert, I invite you to join us in the parish hall, which is that way, for a champagne and Christmas cookie reception, right? It's good stuff. It will also feature the lighting of the big Christmas tree out in the courtyard. And since we did this for the first time last year, this can now be considered a long-standing Bethesda tradition. But still, there are a couple of actually new things this year. First, our Bethesda bookshop will be open during the festivities, featuring all sorts of gift items, including the new Bethesda Christmas ornament. And second, we're offering an online link for purchase, to purchase a one-time viewing of this Christmas concert, which would be a great stocking stuffer for anyone on your list who could use a little bit of Christmas cheer. And there is a QR code for that in your program. Finally, if you like Christmas music, and I know that you do, I invite you to join us for worship on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day at Bethesda-by-the-Sea. It will be a magical and mystical celebration of our Lord's birth, and we would love to have you with us. And now, without further ado, Maestro, I believe you are in the house. There he is.
Well, good evening and welcome to Bethesda, our annual Christmas concert. Those two words that Father Tim said are two of all musicians' favourite, sold out. We love that. If you do have empty seats near you, though, expect that someone's going to try to get in, so let them in as easily as possible when they get there. We'll love to have them. So, after saying welcome, of course, I have to announce we have one tiny change, which is our tenor soloist just came in today. Our scheduled tenor soloist is not able, so we are very lucky we have more than one amazing soloist in our choir. So Alexander Bonner has stepped in at the last minute to sing the opening Messiah solos. It's not really getting near Christmas time until we sing some Messiah. So Lex is going to sing for us Comfort Ye in Every Valley, and then we'll go straight into the choir singing And the Glory of the Lord. I need to grab my notes every time so I don't repeat myself all night, but I have a lot to talk to you about, so we're going to have fun tonight. So when we talk about the Christmas concert with the choir, it's the one event we do all year where we don't wear choir vestments. And traditionally it's of gown and tuxedo, and I said to the choir, let's make it black tie level, parentheses, colours and sparkles encouraged. So little did we know that our organist this evening would outdo all of us with the colours and sparkles. Can you see? I don't need that anyway. So one of the highlights last year, many people told me, was when Michael did a stunning improvisation on a theme that we told him at the last second. And we try to come up with a new theatrical way of doing it every year. And so this year, I got the top secret yellow envelope. And inside are two themes, and Michael is about to dazzle us with brand new music in the form of an organ improvisation. Let's see what he comes up with.
And truly, you didn't tell me.
Perhaps he'll play them to us first, rather than or do you want to make us guess?
You get the idea.
Wow, I haven't heard the organ that loud for a while. So. Maybe I can't hear it at all now. So they say that the service of choral evensong is the crown jewel of Anglican liturgy, and Anglican liturgy is up there with the best of them, I have to say. We get to sing evensong once a month here, and I hope you'll join us sometime. We have one scheduled at 4 o'clock on the first Sunday of February, March, April, and May. So we have 4 more opportunities with this very same choir this season. And the reason I mention that is because the next 2 pieces in our program are the centerpieces of the choral evensong service. We sing 2 canticles every week, or every month rather, and the first one is often known as the Song of Mary. It's the words that Mary sang after hearing from the angel Gabriel that she would give birth to the Son of God. My soul doth magnify the Lord. She spoke King James English, of course. And my spirit hath rejoiced in God my Saviour. You see the words there. And then I think of the Magnificat and the Nunc Dimittis as kind of the bookends of the Christmas season, because we begin the Christmas story with Gabriel's annunciation to Mary, and then we finish when the old man Simeon sees the young boy Jesus in the temple, and he utters the words, Lord, now lettest thy servant depart in peace, conveniently also in King James English. So many of the great composers of the church, and some not in the church, have composed beautiful settings of these canticles, and we sing a different setting every month. Some of them also wrote them for orchestra. Stanford kind of reformed a lot of what English church music was doing at the end of the 19th century. He studied with people like Brahms and Reinberger and really got to understand the essence of the great compositions of the 19th century. And he wrote 5 complete settings of all of morning prayer, evening prayer, and the communion service, plus a whole bunch of individual movements and a lot of other music besides. And most of these he also orchestrated at some point, which offers great florid color that the organ on its own can't do. And we only have 10 fingers and 2 feet to play everything, and we try very hard, but a magnificent orchestra like this has 27 pairs of hands to add to that. Stanford's setting in A major is the only one, though, that he wrote originally for orchestra. He actually composed it for a festival at St. Paul's Cathedral in London with a choir of 300. So we're going to see if we can compete with that sound right now with Stanford's evening service in A major. 3 of this evening's hymns that we're inviting you to stand up and join and sing with us were actually written for the same place, all written for Princeton University Chapel. The first hymn that you sang with us, Angels We've Heard on High, and I could hear you. It sounded like the voice of angels. Good start. We'll keep getting louder and louder as the night goes on. I was asked to write that for the annual carol service about 10 years ago for Trinity Episcopal Church in Princeton. Does their carol service at the University Chapel every year because that way they can squeeze 1,800 people inside, and they come. It's wonderful. And they have a brass octet for that, and percussion, and an amazing choir, and they asked me to do that because the previous year they'd asked me to do another one, and it turns out they liked it. The one that I did the previous year was God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, which I'm about to ask you to stand and sing very loudly. And having those kinds of resources, and now I've expanded it for the full orchestra, offers lots of word painting opportunities. Probably the most fun one, I think, is the tempest, storm, and wind. So when we get to the tenor and bass verse, which I hope you'll sing with great gusto, trying to compete with the tempest, storm, and wind that we're making up front. Anyway, why don't you stand up now and join singing? But part of the reason I talk all the time is, well, partly to give the choir a little vocal rest between some pretty severe workouts, but also to give our dazzling soloists, whose way I'm in, sorry, who complements our new podium beautifully for Christmas colours, red and green here together, to give her time to move into place and catch her breath before we start. So Casey is going to sing for us Rejoice Greatly from Messiah, and it is full of all kinds of fast notes and runs and spills, and if that weren't enough, Casey is so dazzling in her technique that she adds more, and they're fantastic. Wait till you hear this.
Behold,
Isn't she amazing? So the next piece on the program, I get to put my baton down again. I'm going to play a solo this time. So each year since I've been here, I played a different one of the Noel variations by Jean-Claude Daquin. Daquin was a Parisian organist who had a great following. People would go from church to hear him play because they just loved his Noels so much. And they're all basically a set of theme and variations. You hear a very charming melody and then several variations on it with different note lengths, and probably more characteristic of the style is each variation has a different tone color that is peculiar to the French classical organ. Now we have this incredible instrument here. It is not a French classical organ, so it won't sound completely authentic, but when you have a larger instrument, it means you have a wider choice of tone colors. It doesn't always mean it's louder, unless, of course, Michael's playing. But it does mean we have a wider variety of colors. So up the back there, we have about 2,300 pipes hiding up the back. You'll see there are even some horizontal ones. I won't be using those. They're the really loud ones. And then up above my head here, we have about another 4,000 pipes. It's actually 2 stories high. You may not be able to see it all. And it goes way back as far as the next building over there. It does everything, almost. And so in these Noel variations, you'll hear some of the front organ, some of the back organ, some of it together, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it. Not authentic, but influenced by the French classical colors, let's call it. Time for a lullaby. Now we get to welcome the resplendent Debbie Miller to join us as soloist. Max Reger is one of those composers that probably only organists have ever heard of. He wrote more organ music even than Bach, but he also wrote some absolutely delightful choral and solo music, and I think you will truly enjoy the Virgin's Slumber Song. Next year we'll need more sparkles from our soloists, I think. So the next hymn is another one of those that was originally first heard at Princeton University Chapel. Again, not by the Princeton University Choir. This time it was written for the choir of Westminster Choir College, based in Princeton, New Jersey. And I think of this setting as like the soundtrack to an epic movie. It gradually unfolds and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which is totally appropriate because, say it with me, the greatest story ever told. So, but it's kind of slow, and I want you to luxuriate in that don't think, oh my goodness, why can't we go faster? It's not going to go fast. I'm the guy with the stick, so it's going to go slow. It's meant to be majestic and unfolding, but we only get 3 verses, so we won't be here all night to get through all of the verses of the first Noel. But there are some instructions in here. Please sing the parts when you're invited to. And I'll just mention that there is an interlude at the end of the second refrain. So as every choir director says, watch the conductor. I'll tell you when to come in, okay? So stand up and join us singing. Well done, you can follow conductors. I love that. We have auditions for the choir year-round. So this next carol has always intrigued me. What does Sans Day Carol mean? And I even posed it to the choir. The best thing we could come up with was Without a Day Carol. Doesn't make any sense. So I went to the source of all wisdom, Wikipedia, and found out that it is named after the town of St. Day in Cornwall. And the reason is simply because a farmer sang it to a child in Cornwall one day who wrote it down. And this was only about 120 years ago. This isn't one of those ancient melodies, but it fills in a lot of the gaps that we need in our Christmas carols. That we always have to have either farmyard animals or wild plants talking to Mary and Joseph in some of these carols that have all kinds of hidden meanings that are interesting, but not always scriptural. But this is quite a charming carol that I hope you'll enjoy. And very importantly is this arrangement for the orchestra was written by my predecessor, Hal Peischer. And a moment that I know many of you have been waiting for is the wondrous Emily Johnson singing for us, O Holy Night. This arrangement was written for Jesse Norman, and part of my preparation was, of course, to look up YouTube and see how Jesse sang it, and I happen to think that Emily sang it better last year, so... Okay, the last time I get to talk to you tonight, I should make the most of it, shouldn't I? So what I'm going to say is you are warmly invited to many, many, many events that will all be amazing in this very place. Christmas Day, of course, or Christmas Eve, we have services at 4, 7, and 11. You get the children's pageant at 4 o'clock. You get the full choir and brass at 7 and 10 o'clock, and maybe a few other surprises along the way. To find my right notes here. What else do we have? If you love this concert so much that you can't wait to see it again, there's a QR code under the last hymn. You can scan it and buy a one-time pass to watch it again. And even better, you can scan that code and give it to all of your loved ones and maybe some others as well. Wish them all a Merry Christmas by watching our Christmas concert again. And the last thing I want to say is we also have coming up the Boar's Head Festival, which is ranked as one of the top 10 things to do in Palm Beach. So I know you don't want to miss it. I read that in a newspaper. I didn't make that up, but if I hadn't read it, I'd probably make it up. It really is a load of fun. There's an ad for it on the inside back cover of your leaflet today, and you'll be able to buy tickets. Well, you can already buy tickets online for reserved seating, just like tonight. And it really is a lot of fun. It's a 1-hour show. We do it 3 times, so come as many times as you can. And now I'm going to invite you to stand one more time, or actually one other thing. Right after you stand and sing this, come on out and join us for the champagne and Christmas cookie reception and tree lighting. And now stand up and join us in singing Joy to the World.